Hello friends, welcome back to the studio. I'm Beatriz, and for today's lesson we're going to be painting 3 easy winter skies all in one page. If you winter skies usually too patchy, streaky or flat, then this lesson is for you. In today's lesson we will learn how to do a gradient sky with the snow, a stormy sky, and also a sunny wintry day. All of them without having blossoms or stripes. Brushes, and let's get started with the first of our 3 skies. Our first sky, I want it to be a snowy one, and what I'm doing here is I'm making the snow with masking fluid. I have a video where I show you exactly how this is done, and I'm going to link it here, and I'm going to let this dry, and after that we're going to go ahead and start with a snowy sky that is going to have a very calm feel. And for this I'm mixing my cobalt blue, which it is a cold type of blue. Now that my masking fluid is dry, I start by wetting my sky. I want this sky to be wet, where we will be working in what is called the wet on wet technique, but I don't want it to be full of piles. So I'm gonna stop, say right here. Our sky will be like most of our paper. And then I go back and forth with the water only to make sure that it's spread good. I don't know if I can show you. You have shine in the paper. You can see it right here. Means that it's wet, but as you can see, there is no moving water going back and forth. Now I start by putting the darkest color in the top. This is again cobalt blue, a cold blue. And then what I'm doing now, I start from the top, and then softly I guide the paint up and down, so that I can go from darker to lighter. And then I'm gonna stop it in the place where I stop the wetness, where my sky will finish. Now, while everything is wet, if you want to, because watercolor dries lighter, you could go back. You don't have to. I think that will be a pretty sky. But if you wanted it to, then you go back and repeat the same thing. Darker cobalt blue. And then again, I'm gliding my brush. I'm not pushing. And I'm making a lot of pressure. And I'm just going from left to right, down, 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 going through the bumps of the masking fluid. And then I'm gonna stop right here. And then we got a glorious gradient going from lighter, you can see from light to dark. Now let me show you how I still have shine. If I wanted to go a third time or whatever, as long as I have shine, you can do it. Now once your paper starts feeling dull, like the shine is going away, then you need to stop. Because that's when you will start getting the streaky lines that we try to avoid. Another way that you can do make a snow, is you have to wait till all the shine in your paper is gone. We still have quite a bit of shine. Once the shine is gone, you will do the tapping, but this only with water this time, and you will tap water into it. And that water will make some snow. However, for that technique to work, the timing is tricky. If you do it too soon, then like right now when I still have shine, then we will get big blossoms. They will not look like tiny snowflakes. And if you wait too long, then nothing will happen. For beginners, I like to do this technique with the masking fluid. It's a more controlled way to know that all my snow is gonna be looking good. Now, let's just remove all our frisket. Our sky is dry. So now we remove the masking fluid, and our snow is after removing all the masking fluid, you can see how our snow is showing up. Now, let me show you a third way that you can do snow by putting white paint. In this case, I'm using liquid watercolor, white watercolor. This is from Vallejo, but you can use white wash, or you could also use acrylic paint. The acrylic paint may be a little thick, but you could use that too. Then you can just add it onto your palette, and you can either dip your tip and then just go lightly. That's one way, adding some snowflakes. The other way will be rolling your paint, your brush onto the paint, and once again use the tapping technique. But if you want to get a easy, repeatable way to get realistic snow every single time, masking fluid is the way to go. Like I said, I'm gonna link the video over here where I go in detail as to how to do that. As you can see, this is a perfect winter sky. You could put some evergreens, we could make a snowy path, even put a cabin. The possibilities are endless. So let's move on to our second type of winter sky. And for this one, I thought it will be fun if we make it kind of like rolling clouds are coming in, almost like before the snow is falling. The colors for this second sky is going to be French ultramarine, and to this one I'm going to bring brown sienna, because those type of days are more of a gray kind of sky, and that's what I'm aiming for. As I bring more brown sienna, I starting to develop more of a blue-gray sky, and that's what we want to achieve. So once again, I am wetting the paper. Again, I am not aiming for like big piles of water that I can move the paint around. I just want wet paper so that it can give me soft transitions. So instead of a straight bands, here I'm aiming for like soft cloud shape. So I'm moving my brush in like a circular motion. And I wanted to go from more to less. So now I rinse my brush, and then just with water, I soften some areas. Once again, like if I go in like a circular motion, just to have variation and make it look like there are clouds out there. I bring them softly, like if some of these bands of clouds are less stormy than the other ones. And once again, I'll go back with my darker colors. Maybe since that was light, we can come back here with light. Once again, I rinse my brush, and then in the same circular motion, I blend. So these colors go from dark to medium to light. Let's just make it dynamic. So like if I have some bands in this direction, maybe some other ones, they come more like in a diagonal. And the important thing for this type of sky is to allow some bands that are almost white. And over here, I'm gonna give myself another one, which is very little color. But in order to have a little bit of unification, I'm coming from there and then bringing it down. So play with allowing white color, the white of the paper, with darker color, and with, this is dry, but I have some shine here, so I can put a little bit more contrast. We want some of that contrast to make it look like a storm is brewing. Oh my God, it's gonna snow anytime, any minute. I don't think, let me see if we have shine. No, so I better stay away from that. If I wanted it to be more darker here, I will have to wait till it's completely dry. Maybe we do it so I can show you. Why not? This is a teaching moment. But let's finish this part while all is wet. And then what I want to do to make it go like it's distant is like we go from the dark, bring water, and go from more to less. And then we stop with almost nothing. But my water pushed the color out a little bit, so it's not a bad thing to bring it out again. Another way that you can do is after you bring it, is like go around, round, 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 like if it is clouds. Some will go higher, some will go down. And then, because all of this is wet, some blending still is happening, and usually that's the best way to see where it ends up. So this is like 1, 2, 3, they're not connected. I want to do a little connecting here, and then after that I'm going to let them do blend in the paper, and once it's dry we will come back and recheck where we are and see how they turn out. Again, this one is light. I can put just like a light band. Our sky has dried, and it's better to let it dry by itself. Look how much beautiful transitions we got just by allowing the colors to continue to blend while they were drying. So let the paper and do the work for you instead of you having to work on it. Putting it on, I was telling you that it would be good maybe to have some darks over here. Again, looks good without it. If you made it like this, leave it like this. I'm just trying to take advantage of this teaching moment. How we will do that? Remember, I told you it was already lost the shine, so that was not a good time to put the darker color because we will get blossoms. So the best way is to let it dry by itself. Go with a soft brush. I'm using my silver black velvet. Really wet. Once it just wets the paper and it doesn't mess around with the paint that we already put on it. Okay, so now I will have it wet. I don't want to go back and forth with the same colors that I was having before. I get some of the darks, and we can go ahead and apply, say I want some over here. Now is the time. I can drop some darks up there. Maybe we can dark some of them over here. Make like a band of dark colors coming this way. Maybe put a whips out there. I'm just playing around just because I rewetted it. And maybe this one goes like that. Now, I like everything that is there. I don't want to touch much. So with my soft brush, I tap, and the edges, tap, like if I turn it like tiny little circles. And we're gonna, once again, allow this to dry by itself. Maybe put a couple clouds right here. Round. Tap. This type of sky, you think about a little bit like pushing and pulling. You add a little bit of color, then you lift a little. And you always allow some of the white paper to show. And try not to get any hard edges. That's the best way to get this type of skies. When will I use the type of sky? Well, when I do it, I like really to leave my foreground pretty simple. This is just for me so that the sky is not flowing, but for something like this, I will put like a simple feel with the snow, something that it will not take away from the drama of the sky. And this type of paintings, I like my sky to be the protagonist. While our second sky dries, I'm gonna go ahead and start moving on to do our third sky. So we got a snowy day, we got a stormy day. We're gonna make now a winter sky with a sunny day. Granted, sunny days in winter, especially in the cold places, the sun is not too bright, but the blue of the sky will come through. So that's why I'm making a mix with my warm blue, Antwerp blue, which is a warm blue, but now I'm gonna mix it with a little bit of a cold blue. In this case is a cobalt blue, because in this type of winter days, yeah, they're sunny, but the sun is not really strong. So we want a blue sky, but it cannot be as bright as if it was a summery day. And once again, we're gonna wet the sky. We're gonna also make this sky wet and wet. So, and same thing as I did for the other two, not puddles of water, just wet, going back and forth with my brush and make sure that everything has shine. but no piles of water on it. So now I'm gonna go ahead and start with a thin band of color here on the horizon. Then I'm going with water, soften it up right there, and then also blend it up on the top. Now, because this is all wet, this color over here will continue to, it's gonna continue to blend. And if not, you can always add a little extra and see where it goes. I wanna give them movement. So then I'm gonna start turning in a diagonal. Go like this. The trick here is that you want a lot of the white to show. Okay, so put it down, then going back with my water, with the brush that I only have water, and then I bring a little bit of that over here, but I want to keep this area very pale. Okay, I picked a little bit on the tip and I bring it down. All right, now let's just make another band. As I go higher, I can go with darker color. As a matter of fact, I do want it to go darker. So let's just go like this and start bringing it up with more color. All right, once again, I'll go with my brush that only has water. Bring it, and then I start moving it all around. I would like for this to feel more like turning. I think like I went a little too straight, which is perfectly fine. This is just me being a little bit of a perfectionist. But let's just go darker here. We want this to reflect like a good sunny day. So it goes like that. Let's just get another band coming down. This, like that. Go from bigger to smaller. And then we start turning and turning and turning. And this one almost faded away, which is what we wanted, but perhaps not so much. And now again, water, tap, 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 tap it up. And once again, we let this dry. Now, let me do something. Let me put this all together like this. And let me show you another way. Say, for example, you lost your whites. We can, if we want our whites to look brighter, you can do one or two things. Put a little bit of darker color next to the area where you want it to be lighter. Okay, that way the light shows up more. Put another one on the other side. Now our white starts feeling like it's brighter. And then we put yet another one, and the one that we want at the bottom. You see just how by doing that, our whites became brighter and whiter, I guess, if you will. Let's just get, we want some of that soft transition, but we can drop some of that and some of this over here, and a wimpy one right here. Now, if you want to go, this is one way to make it lighter. Another way, by putting darkness to the white. Another way is you get some paper, you roll it, and then you can lift some of those colors. You will be getting drier areas because you will be drying it out with your paper, but there's another way to make clouds and to lighten, make your transitions a little bit lighter. And if you want to make a one that is straight, just go fold your paper good and then tap, tap, tap. See how bright that one is coming? And then we did it over there. Let's just do it a second one right here. So we got one, got two, and just do a third one whatever. This type of good and sunny wintry sky looks perfect against if you put dark tree silhouettes like evergreens at the bottom. If you would like some ideas of how to make different trees or where to place the darks, etc., I have a whole video where I show you 5 different evergreen trees for beginners, and I can leave a little thing other for you to click. And these are 3 different kinds of wintry skies that you can use for many different landscapes or paintings on the upcoming season. As you can see, each one of them is different. They're all beginning friendly, but they are each one of them beautiful and gorgeous. All right, we did it. We did paint 3 wintry skies all in one page. Let me know in the comments which one will you wanna try first, and if you decide to put anything in the bottom, what will that be? Trees, a cabin, leave it with a snowy path. I would like to know. If you want to learn more about how to do the masking fluid hug, I will leave the link here for the video where you can see it. Or if you want to learn how to do the evergreen trees, I will leave it here as well. So in case you decided to put it at the bottom. Other than that, keep practicing, and I will see you in my next video.